Hey everyone, welcome back to Eagle Eye Prepping. Today we're diving into something that's not getting enough attention in the prepping world: labor strikes at U.S. ports and what this means for all of us. We've seen this recently with threats of strikes at key shipping hubs along the West Coast, and when these ports slow down, it can cripple the entire supply chain. So, what does this mean for us, the prepping community, and why should it matter to you? First, let's talk about what port strikes do to the flow of goods. You might not realize it, but these ports are responsible for importing everything from food to medical supplies to fuel. When workers walk off the job, these shipments stop. And when they stop, we don't get the products we need in a timely manner or sometimes at all. This trickles down fast. Stores might have empty shelves, prices spike due to limited availability, and key items, especially imports, could be delayed for weeks or even months. For families already balancing budgets, that can be a huge hit. So, if you've been on the fence about building up your emergency supplies, now is the time to act. Labor strikes like these show us just how vulnerable the supply chain is. Items like canned foods, dry goods, and water filters could become harder to find if port activity is disrupted. Don't wait until shortages are already happening. I recommend stocking up on at least 3 months worth of essentials, including non-perishable foods, water, first aid supplies, and personal care products. Remember, the goal is to be ready for anything, not just empty shelves. We're talking about resilience here. Next, when possible, shift your focus to domestic products. Imported goods may be more impacted by port disruptions, so think local when it comes to your stockpile. Look for U.S.-made items, particularly when it comes to crucial prepping supplies like first aid kits, tools, and even foods like grains and canned goods. You'll be supporting local businesses while also ensuring your prepping stash isn't dependent on overseas imports. It's a win-win. Another key prepper principle we can apply during port strikes is self-reliance. This is a great time to start thinking about ways to reduce your dependence on store-bought goods. For example, consider learning to make your own soap, grow your own herbs, or start canning your own food. The less we rely on a fragile supply chain, the better prepared we are when disruptions like this happen. Even if the strikes don't escalate, practicing these skills now will put you miles ahead in the long run. Here's another angle to consider: energy. A lot of the fuel we use for everyday life, including cooking, heating, and transportation, is imported through these very ports. If a strike shuts things down, we could see gas prices skyrocket and fuel shortages spread across the country. For preppers, that means planning now to store extra fuel safely and exploring alternative energy sources like solar power. If you've been thinking about investing in a generator or solar panels, this is your wake-up call. Having alternative energy on hand will give you peace of mind if strikes or other disruptions interfere with fuel availability. So, what can you do right now? First, start by building up that stockpile of essentials. Next, make sure you're paying attention to the news surrounding labor strikes. These disruptions can happen suddenly, and we need to be prepared. Don't be caught off guard when the next big one hits. Finally, consider joining communities of like-minded preppers. At Eagle Eye Prepping, we're all about sharing knowledge and helping each other become more self-sufficient. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay connected with us for regular tips and updates on how to stay ready for anything.